So the first step here, guys, is after you get into that Signal NFX platform, you're going to want to start creating these lead lists here. So I'll even go back one more. As you can see, these are these investors over here. And then you're going to apply these and then start making these lists on LinkedIn Sales Now. So as you can see here, this is kind of filtering some of those. You're going to research every single one of those individually, put these into a list on LinkedIn Sales Now, and then segment those into 3 different buckets. So the reality is, the way that you're going to get the most introductions is through people that are already connected to these investors. So if we're going to kind of look at it like this, right, is you have the person that you want to talk to right here. And then let's say you have a few thousand connections on LinkedIn, even 1,000, right? There's a possible likelihood that this person is a 2nd or 3rd degree connection of people you already know and have a relationship with. So what you're trying to do here is you're over here, you're going to use your network right here, and then say, hey, I would love to talk to Jeff. This is what I'm doing. Here's why I think he'd be great. I'm happy to write a message for an intro if that'd be possible. Would love just to pick his, would love just to get to know him and see if he'd be a good fit for us. And then you're way more likely to convert from one of these intros over to the person that you actually want to talk to Jeff. So if I was actually trying to get in contact with him, I'd click on Jeff's profile, see that I have 20 mutual connections. And then I'd actually probably send 5 to 8 or 9 messages. That's what I was doing previously. And then I had, 3 people respond because I knew those individuals. And then 1 or 2 of them would give the intro. And that worked really well because it was coming from 2 different sources of people that, I already knew and that other person already trusted. So you want that intermediary person to be already they've already established a relationship and trusted it with the other individual. And they're way more likely to give you the introduction. The second part is maybe you're not connected to any of those individuals. The best thing you can do is to start to try to establish a relationship with someone they already have bet on, and that's the portfolio company founders. So you're going to identify that investor. So let's take Jeff, for example. He's invested in 35 companies, right? I'm going to go look and see, okay, Jeff has listed all these companies on his LinkedIn. Okay, if there's 35 companies on there, there's usually about 2 founders per company. So I'm going to go research all of those companies, find the founders for those companies, and I'm going to message them and say, hey, we're raising around. I saw you guys raised around. Congratulations. Founder to founder would love some advice. If you have, 10 or 15 minutes, I'm also happy to, send a referral and see how I can help you as well. If that's something you're up for. And then when you get on the call with these portco founders, you're going to then say, hey, I was actually checking out, I'm looking for this kind of angel investor. This is I'm looking for this kind of investor, this VC firm. Do you know anybody? I saw that maybe, you guys might know Jeff. Is that someone that's familiar to you? And then they're going to be, oh, yeah, Jeff's the best guy ever, right? And then they're like, oh man, if you could make an intro to Jeff, that'd be great. That works. I promise you that works. It's just kind of like setting that initial meeting. That's the hard part. But those are the 2 most high converting ways. That is how you're going to get those meetings. The last one's a direct outreach, right? The tip I've never given to people that are on this webinar is doing this omni-channel outreach, but kind of confusing the person you're trying to get in contact with. So what that looks like is you're going to send them a detailed email and kind of break this up into really digestible format with a hook, right? So your subject line may be LinkedIn message, or your subject line may be founder intro. In all lowercase. You want 2 words as your subject line, all lowercase. That increases your open percentage on average by another 60%. So all lowercase, first 2 words on that subject line, and then you're going to break down in the email, hey, this is why I'm reaching out. I would love 15 minutes. Only target those managing partners and partners of the funds. Don't waste your time with associates or analysts or principals. I mean, you can reach out to the principals as well. I'd say principals or partners are the people you want to talk to. Say, show proof of concept. I have worked with, these are the people on our team from Harvard, from MIT, from XYZ. You list these people, or we've signed clients like Coca-Cola, yada, yada. Like, show proof of concept and show the sexiness of what you're building and the traction of it in creative ways. A lot of people say, I don't have anything to show, but you do have something to show. You do. If it's LOIs, if it's revenue in a short amount of time, if it's brands that you've worked with, if it's your previous experience, list that in like 1 to 2 lines. And then in the last part, say, this is what we do in 1 sentence, an example of how we do it. If I'm Airbnb, I'm going to say, hey, we are a app that allows you to rent homes all over the US and the world as a vacation rental. And you can just book it immediately on the app. So for example, if you want to go to Greece tomorrow, you can hop on our app, pay in the app, and then immediately fly there, and everything's set up for you to stay in this house in Greece. And we have thousands of properties all over the world. Like that would be a great example. And an example of kind of that two sentence pitch. I would love it if everyone right now, if you guys could actually practice this in the chat for me. This is what we're gonna do. I want you guys to send it in 1 line. I'm serious. And if you guys do, I'll tell you what, I'll make this a little bit interesting for us. So if you guys do this for me, then 1, you send in 1 line of what you do and an example of how you do it, and you connect with me on LinkedIn, then I will send you the deck for this whole thing. Usually don't send out this deck, but we will send it to you. So as I'm seeing those come in, then we will send you guys over that deck. You guys got to send in the 1 line of what you do and an example of how you do it, and then send me that LinkedIn request. And Cassie is going to monitor that and see the LinkedIn request coming on my profile, and then we will send you guys this deck. So that is the pitch here, guys.